If you've ever felt overwhelmed by the constant rush of homemaking, trying to balance it all while keeping your home a peaceful, welcoming space, this video is for you. Winter can feel like a season of pressure, but it's also an opportunity to slow down and embrace the art of intentional living. Today I'm sharing my personal journey of discovering slow living in the winter, a way to find joy in the simplest moments, from savouring quiet mornings to creating a cozy haven for your family. So grab a hot tea or coffee, settle in, and let's embrace the slower, more peaceful season. As the colder months settle in, the hustle and bustle of everyday life can leave us feeling drained and disconnected. Between the demands of homemaking, caring for little ones, and trying to even carve out time for yourself, it's easy to lose sight of the beauty that winter can offer. But slow living teaches us something different. It invites us to embrace the season with intention. To find beauty in the small, quiet moments that make up our days. This isn't about perfection or aesthetics. It's about crafting a life that feels rich and meaningful even when the world outside feels cold and dark. In this video, we'll explore 3 ways to practice slow living this winter: creating cozy spaces, cultivating those seasonal rituals, and finding joy in mindful reset. Each step is simple and adaptable to your own life. So let's start by reimagining the spaces we call home. Let me tell you a little story. A few years ago, I found myself staring at a cluttered living room after the Christmas holiday. The tree was gone, the lights packed away, and suddenly my home felt empty. I kept scrolling through Pinterest looking at picture-perfect spaces, feeling like I just needed to buy something or do something to make my home just feel right again. But then I realized something. I was chasing someone else's version of cozy, not my own. That day I made a decision to stop comparing and start focusing on what truly brought my family joy during the winter. I began by asking myself a question. What does my home need to feel like a sanctuary this season? It wasn't about spending money or achieving some ideal. It was about crafting a space that felt just warm and inviting, and importantly, uniquely ours. And that's where my slow living journey really began. One of the simplest ways to practice slow living in the winter is by transforming your home into a haven. Think of it as layering warmth and texture, both physically and emotionally. I would definitely start small, swap out light summery decor for rich and cozy textures. throwing a chunky knit blanket over the couch and adding some earthy toned throw pillows, and placing candles in every room. I just love candles. There's something magical about candlelight on a winter evening, isn't there? One year I decided it was important to create a little reading cozy space in our living room. Just a chair by our bureau in the lounge, a warm lamp and a stack of books. It has become my favourite spot to unwind during those long, cold evenings by the log burner. You don't need a big budget to create comfort. A few thoughtful changes can completely shift the atmosphere of your home. And don't forget nature, bringing the outside in. You can bring in things like pine cones and branches, dried flowers. It adds a grounding, seasonal touch that connects us to the world beyond our own four walls. There are the little things we do to celebrate and embrace the new, unique beauty of winter. They don't have to be elaborate at all. What matters is that they're first meaningful to you. For me, one of my favourite winter rituals is lighting a candle and writing in my journal, or reading the Bible before the chaos of the day begins. I like to try and write down one thing that I'm grateful for, at least one small goal for the day and one moment I want to savour. It's a quiet, grounding way to start the day with intention. I'd love to know what winter rituals bring you joy. Maybe it's as simple as making a cup of tea and sitting by the window watching the rain fall or the snow fall or the leaves fall. Or maybe it's gathering your family for a game night, complete with those cozy blankets and steaming mugs of hot chocolate. These moments, as small as they may seem, are what slow living is all about. Finally, let's talk about rest. In a world that values productivity above all else, rest can almost feel indulgent. But winter invites us to slow down, to honour the natural rhythms of the season. One way I've learned to embrace rest is by rethinking how I approach my evenings. Instead of scrolling on my phone or rushing through those chores, I try and set aside each night some quiet time. It could be 30 minutes, it can be 10 minutes, it could be 5 minutes just sitting and reflecting. Sometimes it's reading a book, sometimes it's having a hot shower or a warm bath or drinking some steaming hot tea. Another practice I've found transformative is learning to say no. And as a natural people pleaser, this is not my natural inclination. Winter is a season naturally for conserving energy and not overextending yourself. It's okay to protect your energy levels by declining commitments that don't align with your priorities. When we rest, we create space for renewal, for joy, for creativity, and for connection. Rest isn't lazy, it's essential. By creating cozy spaces and cultivating meaningful rituals and embracing mindful rest, we can transform winter into a season of beauty and grace. It's not just about doing more, it's about doing less with intention. Imagine walking into a room lit by soft candlelight, the scent of something warm and spicy baking in the oven. Your space is calm, your heart is full, and you've made room for what truly matters. That's the art of slow living in the winter. You don't need to do it perfectly. You just need to start. Start with one small change, one intentional moment, and watch how it begins to ripple through your home and your life.